Hey guys, I guess we can get started. We have a few uh, maintainers and members, and I think yeah, I think we can get started. So this meeting is recorded, so the video will be posted later on the LitmusChaos playlist as well. So if you're watching this later, I would just urge you to um, add your organization as a part of the adopters if you're using Litmus. That will greatly help us out. And this is the sorry for that. My dog is a bit moody today. But yeah, so this is the contributors and maintainers meet we have every second and fourth Thursday of the month. So feel free to join. We'll be opening the calendar invites as well pretty soon. But yeah, this is where we discuss about some of the features, the PRs, and some of the updates from the Litmus project. So yeah, I don't think we have any new members today per se. So from the maintainer side, we have Namkyu, Saranya, Karthik, and the other folks. Amit, Sarthak, everybody join. So I think let's move on for today's agenda. And for the first item on the list, we have some updates on Kubecon NA. So Litmus is joining Kubecon NA's booth. So it's the kiosk 16A, and the blog for the same is published on the CNCF channel. And we'll be on the first level in Salt Lake City, so it'll be in the hall one. We have taken the first shift, so if you are by any chance in KubeCon Salt Lake City, then feel free to join us, and we'll be glad to give you a couple of stickers, talk about chaos engineering, have a coffee side chat, and anything and everything that involves chaos engineering. So we'd love to have you. So if you are by any chance a part of KubeCon NA, then I would request you to come and join us, and we can have a fun time. So these are some of the swag items we are planning in. So we'll probably have some Lego items and some candies and a couple of stickers. And yeah, just come up to our booth, and we'll be happy to share them with you. Another item that I wanted to share was the KubeCon Europe in London upcoming CFPs. So the CFPs for the same is open, and as you know, it will be closing soon. It's due by 24th of November. So I'd urge everybody from the Litmus community to join and submit sessions on Litmus on chaos engineering. It'll greatly help us out. So if you have any ideas that you would want to share, want to talk about, then feel free to ping me, or if you need any help, you can DM the maintainers or me, and I'll be glad to help you out on that. But yeah, since the CFPs for the normal track are due by 24th November, I'd urge the community to start looking into it and also submit CFPs for the same. So yeah, that's the introduction, like the announcements that I wanted to make before I jump in. So one main update that I wanted to share was regarding this Litmus contributors and maintainers meeting doc. So I haven't shared the doc with anybody right now, but the plan is to sort of restart the process of note taking and maintaining these sort of meeting recordings and notes in a doc, in a formal doc. So we already used to do this with HackMD for the community meeting. So we'll be restarting that one as well. I'll talk more about that when we do the community meeting. But we are sort of starting on a separate doc for the contributors and maintainers meet. So it'll have all the details basically of how you can join, and also where you can find the recordings and some of the etiquettes. There's a template which you can copy. It'll be open to all the contributors and the maintainers, of course. And we'll sort of make a way to kind of include other people in the calendar, and they also get invited. So I'm talking with CNCF to sort of generate like maybe like a calendar invite of some sort, or putting in an on-demand invite. So yeah, that is one of the process I'm working on. But yeah, this I think this documentation or note taking would be a good step to sort of record the minutes of the meetings and see how we have grown forward. So this is the first one. This is today. Now this I already talked about. So the agenda is talked about this Salt Lake City and the Kubecon Europe. So I wanted to discuss more on the tech docs analysis. There's some updates regarding that, and I also wanted to point out some of the issues that how we like how we can mitigate some of the issues getting stale. And then we will probably take a look at the two pull requests that are on RDS that's been raised quite a while ago, and also on the DocumentDB. So starting on with the document update, like I mentioned, this the invite for the same will be shared to everybody who has joined the calendar invite. So I'll be sharing this doc with everybody, and then moving forward, we'll be making more iterations to this of the same. Now, regarding the tech docs analysis, so as you might know, we were already going through the tech docs analysis with the CNCF team. So this is where we are at right now. So we have the tech docs recommendation. This is an umbrella issue that has been created by Dave. Now Dave is one of the member of the CNCF Tech Docs tags, and he has created like an umbrella issue which has a list of some of the sub issues that we are planning to work on for Litmus. Now we would require your help, as in like help from the maintainers and help from the contributors to get this fixed and get a lot of the contributions coming. So right now, we have just 4 issues, and the tag will be working on to create more. So we'll probably have a couple of more issues in the next week. But yeah, this is one way you can go to LitmusChaos/Litmus Docs, and you will find the umbrella issue here. Or you can also go to CNCF slash tech docs, the tech docs repo of CNCF, and in there you'll also find like a issue tracker. So you'll have a couple of other projects who are also doing the tech docs analysis. So if you scroll down, you will also find Litmus here. So this is the umbrella ticket, and these are the 4 tickets that were created as a part of it. So you can comment here, or you can just comment down here, and we'll be happy to assign individual issues to you. So we'll be taking a look at each of the issues and talking about it in this call. And once we do that, we'll be moving on to the next item. But if we wanted to start with, so this is like some of the issues that were noted by the CNCF docs team. Regarding the first one is basically about having a single source of truth for the documentation, because currently we have Litmus docs, we have V1 docs, V2 docs, and also I think V3 docs hosted a couple of different places, which is why whenever you sort of search it, it might lead to stale, websites or like search results because of the trackers that Google uses or the other browsers would use. So it's not like a single source of truth right as of now, because even if people want to go to the overall organization, they'd find a couple of different docs, like docs repository lying around. So I think we can have separate docs for the experiment overview and the experiment documentation, and one for the getting started and the concepts and the resources. But I think we need to sort of find a way to effectively merge the separation of concern. So we shouldn't have more than one experiment docs and more than one, getting started or docs. So 2 docs is fine as long as we don't have multiple copies of the same. So we'll have to find a way to sort of mitigate that, and that is where I think the maintainers would jump in, and we'll be seeing on how we can do that. So we will try to retire as many obsolete repos as we can, either move them into a single stack or sort of move them into a single monolith and sort of manage the versions somehow. So we'll be definitely taking a look at that. And for the second one, I think this is also something the maintainers can help with, which is to remove the obsolete websites, which is what I also mentioned as a precursor to the first one. So if you search for LitmusChaos today, there are like a couple of co-branded websites that come up, which are not really a part of the main like repo, or even like were used before in Litmus 1.x or 2.x, and weren't really removed or deallocated. So those issue might cause a lot of issues with the crawlers and everything. So we might have to archive those. We'll try our best to dissociate any open random links that are present that we no longer use for Litmus, and retire some of the older links. So one of them, as an example, was the tutorials, Litmus tutorials. I don't think we like it's pretty like it's deprecated, and we do not use it that well, and it's not really maintained. So we do not have any association as well on the docs or the main website. So I think we can safely retire it, but we can still keep the metadata in order to present it a bit better on the other forum or somehow. So I think the first and second issues can be tackled by the maintainers. So I'll work with the contributors and the maintainers to see how we can sort this out and get the first 2 blocks out of the picture. And for the last 2, I think this is where majorly the contributors can help, which is to get non or like basically redundant links out of the website. So there are a couple of CTAs which are redirecting to the same page, and there's like a couple of them all over the page. So there's like a need for a little bit of change in the way we are sorting them out. So like instead of calling them getting started everywhere, we might want to name them a bit better so that it's easier for the users to figure out which is what. So like getting started can also point to the Litmus repo, and it can also point to getting started with installation of the Litmus project. So we might want to take a look at those kind of, wordings and things like that. So just as an example, if I just click on one of the issues, we can see that there's like a detailed view of each of them. So there are like a couple of possible possible implementation plans, and there's some recommendation provided with the CNCF team. We necessarily do not have to follow those recommendation per se, because there are some recommendation which we might want to, you know, which we have a different opinion on. For example, the fifth one. Uh, so we might want to discuss this on the issue itself, and then we can talk with like the maintainers will jump in, and we can have a discussion, and then we'll be assigning you the individual things based on whatever we discussed. So if we take a look at the first one, so it says the getting started button in the banner menu is pointing to the repo, and the one on the landing page is also pointing to the repo. So if you see this, the LitmusChaos website right now, so this is the one that's pointing to the repo, and this one also points to the repo. So the recommendation says that you can relabel the button to something like learn more or go to documentation. So we can sort of do this kind of a division in like a, to make things more clear. So we can, these are like easy ones, but we can chat more about one of the more complex ones, like the fifth one. So if I move on to this is just basically talking about the getting started button on the docs landing page. So this one says relabeling it to something like go to documentation would be better, since this button also, like, it's a button that leads to another second button which leads to documentation. So there's like one more extra click. So those kind of UX issues we can mitigate via managing or deleting or repurposing the wordings a bit. It's the same with the fourth point. So like coming to the fifth point. So fifth point says the getting started table content on the left side in the docs page entry is expanding into the TOC, and there are some of the things which are repeated, or I should say not technically repeated, but you can merge them. Sorry, you can merge them and put them together in the same installation page, which I think it would be good to have like a separate, concepts page and an architecture page. So that way we can divide the content better, and it will be easier for people to follow certain concepts versus certain architectural patterns. So if we take a look at the docs page, second, then you would see that in the getting started guide, we have the installation, and then we also have the concepts page. So as per the recommendation, it's telling us to sort of shift a certain content to the installation page up, so that we can get a standalone entry in the getting started, so people don't have to move around, hop the sections at the top of the table of content. So that is necessarily something we can have a bigger discussion on, as to how we want to structure this sort of a layout in the documentation. uh, but yeah, so those things we can discuss as a part of this issue. And lastly, this is one of the stale like repo link, which, or like a website link, which we do not really use. So this one, right? So we have this tutorial website, which I don't think we are actively maintaining. So it's pointing to one of the index.html tutorial get started, which I don't think we have right now. So if I use this, right? So it's a very old website, which which we do not have any association with right now. But this one probably was like taken through some sort of an older connection with a old repo, or through a Google search or somewhere where the the hosting is still active. So we'll probably want to retire things like this from the general search, and also remove the trackers and the crawlers, so that users don't get access to this anymore because it's not actively maintained. So we'll be taking a look at this as a part of the second issue that was mentioned in this docs, which is the remove obsolete websites. So that should solve this issue too. We'll keep the metadata for this, the content and everything. We'll probably want to move this and make it better someday. But yeah, we can just retire this website altogether. So this is one. Second, lastly, we can just move on to the remove the duplicate install instructions. So what this one is talking about is we have this section, which is the installation section repeated. So if I just go over to the docs once more, so what we follow is inside, if we go to the latest version. So in the installation, we have the prerequisites and the installation steps, right? After the basic one, we have really sorry. After the basic one, we have the advanced installation and then the verify your installation section. So we also, if we go to the user guide and also the advanced installation chaos center setup with HTTPS, you will see that we do duplicate this section one more time along with just the step for advanced installation. So I think like we follow for the others, setup without ingress or setup with ingress, we can have a prerequisite step. We can have the the basic HTTPS step with the advanced installation, and then we can just do accessing chaos center. So that way we can minify the content and follow the pattern that we are following for the other advanced installation sections too. So in this setup with HTTPS, we can just have the prerequisite and we can just have the advanced installation section, which is this part, and we can just do verify via chaos center or verify your installation. So that way we can loosely link it with the installation steps that is part of the getting started, and that should make the duplicacy less. So these are some areas we can take a look at. So these are open for the community to come and contribute, and we can assign you issues, and you guys can take it and start working on it. So that would really help with the analysis. And we'll have more issues coming up next week. So we'll probably have some more items to talk about on the next call. But yeah, that is where we are at with the CNCF Tech Docs analysis right now. Moving on to this one, the last item on the agenda before we move on to the PRs to look at. So we have a couple of issues, uh, like we have general a few issues with the PR review cycle. So what we have observed is when PRs do get a proposal and then a PR is raised, we are sort of delayed with reviewing it, and we sort of do not, like, even if we do get notified, it's like sort of the main code owners are not really notified of it, and we do not get active review on time. And I think a cycle of 1 week or 2 weeks is still fine, but when a PR is moving and spanning across a month or more, then we will probably want to not wait that long and probably get it some sort of get it reviewed, or get it into a discussion channel, or move that into the Litmus dev thread or somewhere like in the channel itself, so we can just continue with the contribution effort. So I think that is something we can mitigate by adding like a new label, which would be sort of like needs approver review or something. So I was planning to add like a label, which would be basically if you raise a PR and the PR it's been already 1 week or like 2 weeks and you haven't gotten any approval or response from the code owners, or the main maintainers, then I think you can safely add that label, and I'll like the other maintainers and me will, sorry, and the other maintainers and me will take a look, and we will sort of yeah, the other maintainers and me will take a look, and we will sort of give a overview of how many PRs are left, and if we need to involve the maintainers again, and I'll kind of give them a reminder so that way we can reduce the PR review cycle a bit, because that is an important part of getting things flowing in the project. So I think I will make a label, a generic label, which would be something like requires maintainers or approver review, and I'll be personally tracking those and doing this effort in the Litmus Dev channel as well. So I haven't really thought of a specific name per se right now, but I'll after this call I'll probably share the label as well on the channel. So that is all about the agenda. If anybody has any questions, otherwise I'll move on to the PRs that we sort of need to take a look at. Any questions so far? Very good. Think yeah, okay. We can move on to the PRs. So let's take a look at the first one, which was the proposal for the AWS RDS instance fault. So this was this is open for like a couple of months, like 1 month or more. And I think it has all the necessary reviews in order for this to get merged. And I believe Junwo was the original author of this PR has already shared his proposal and his plan on why he's adding it. I think this PR is good to be merged. Also, a couple of things regarding this. We have implementation like a template, right? I believe Namq was suggesting this template, or like there's a, is it like a template that Namq has shared to them, or is it like we already have it in the tracker in the this issue creator? Did you share this
Uh,
personally, or yeah,
yeah, it's a public template. You can check this one in the proposals tab.
in the proposals tab? So you're
Yeah.
saying it's a part of this one, right? The feature request.
It's not a feature request. It's a wait a minute.
Okay. Okay, got it. You're saying, okay, yeah, it's part of this, but not a part of.
Yeah, proposals tab.
Yeah, 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 got it. So yeah, this one, right? So this is what I wanted to check as well. So in this issue creation, right? Whenever we do the issue creation, so it comes up with feature request template, which is a part of the .github thing. So I was thinking of adding a proposal request here, or maybe merge it with feature request because they're sort of same. So we can update this instead, and we can enforce a few things like the implementation plan should be mandatory, the name should be mandatory, things like that. Because if we take a look at this PR, right, on this proposal, so we have the summary, proposal, risk mitigations, and everything, the implementation details. But if we take a look at the implementation details, it's like a little high level. So what we can do is when we update the template on GitHub, we can sort of add this as a mandatory field, and it could be a little bit lower level. As in this case, if I talk about AWS RDS specifically, so it can talk about how you are leveraging the AWS SDK, how you're planning to leverage the SDK, and uh, how you would probably, which APIs would be required in this scenario. So that will give us, a bit more idea on if we are breaching any license issues, or if what does the implementation look like on a little bit lower level. And yeah, so that is something that was just feedback from my end. Uh, if the other maintainers have anything they can contribute, but I think this overall looks good. I think we are good to merge it. So probably after the call, I will right away merge this, and then we can get started with the implementation plan for this. And I'll also notify this on the Litmus Dev channel. So the main stakeholder for this would be Shubham Chaudhary, and Udit Kaurav. So they are the maintainers as well, and they would be the ones looking after this overall. So yeah, I'll notify them as well on the same channel. But I think we are good to get this merged. Oh, and for the other one, we have the DocumentDB pull request, which is the other proposal, which is to support DocumentDB by replacing certain parts of the Mongo operations. So I think this one is also open for a little over a month, and I think we can have a couple of approval on this. I think Sarthak, Saranya, if anybody wants to chime in on, you think if this is good to be merged, or any ideas on this?
Yeah, Shan. So this has been open for quite a few time now. So it's a good addition for us. So basically, this was asked from few of the users as well. They wanted support of MongoDB. They wanted support of Amazon AWS DocumentDB along with MongoDB. So as per Mongo documents, it says that it has around 34% compatibility with the DocumentDB.
Mm-hmm.
So working on this, it's a good effort from Dong Yang, and yeah, like it will now make it easier for users to adapt the application and to deploy it on different environments. So it's a good one. So the one time effort to update the queries to
Mm-hmm.
support the compatibility with the document DB as well. So it's good. But another thing that needs to be taken care of is whenever a new query is added, we need to make sure that it is compatible with both Mongo as well as document. So if a new contributor does any contribution, so of course he will test it against Mongo, but testing it against DocumentDB should also be done now. So that may not be possible for all the users to test it against DocumentDB as well. So either there should be a good contributing guideline that should be added, which can have the list of the queries or the operators that are supported by both document as well as MongoDB, so that whenever any future contributor tries to add any DB query, they can take reference from that. So that is one thing I guess that can be added. Apart from it, I guess the few Cypress tests have been run to validate these changes, and as far as I know, good amount of testing has been done to validate these changes. So this PR looks good, but yeah, one contributing guideline should be added along with this, so that in future we don't break anything.
Yes, he added a pre-commit check. So when GitHub action is running, they check whether the functions or queries that DocumentDB and MongoDB is not supported. So yes, and also he tested this pull request using Litmus E2E. So he checked that all the tests are passed. So yes, that two things that I want to mention.
This is the E2, right?
Yes, E2E, right?
Mm.
E2E test result.
One more thing I wanted to add. So I was going through the PR and the changes, so it was really great work. But I just have one concern that since like a lot of queries have been updated, so have we tested if the queries are scalable? Have we checked the effect of the Mongo queries, whether the latency has increased or decreased, something like that? For some queries which are using multiple lookup stages, in general, so they might be affected more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So some sort of benchmarking, something like that.
Yeah, so could you read this one to the comment, please, so that
Yes,
our will reflect, implemented, updated.
sure. I think there is a way to do it in Mongo Compass Arthur and maybe explain. But I'll add it at the comment in the comment so that you can test.
Thanks.
Cool. Yeah, I think that was all I had for this meeting. I think this template approach is good. That keeps us everybody aware of the issues. So what I'll do is after this call, I'll just post a few things on the Litmus Dev channel around this one and tag the respective code owners as well for the RDS instance fault proposal. And also, I think Sarthak or Saranya can just add a comment on this one, the DocumentDB one. I think we should be good. So I think the next call is on the 20th of November. It would be the community call. So we will follow a similar approach and we'll sort of restart the documentation for the community updates on HackMD. I'll share the link as well. But for now, I'll give access to everybody who's part of the calendar to edit this document. So if you want to add any, proposals or agenda plan, then you can do so using this template. I think that's all that I had for this call. I hope you guys get some time out, and if you are going to NA, do check out the booth. And if you have interest, then do submit the CFPs for Kubecon London. Cool. I think that's all, folks. Thank you for joining. I'll see you again on the 20th for the community meeting, where we'll talk more about the Kubecon India and the other updates in the community front. Thanks for joining. See you guys later. Bye.